All right, guys. So I'm I don't have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going live right now. A little bit nervous because I can't stop and edit and change things up. But I just wanted to show you a little bit about this particular movie right there. It's a movie called The Story of Everything. I was able to go see it in the theaters. I don't think you can see it now, but you can go to the story of everything.com or .org. Either way, you should be able to find it on Google and see if there are tickets available at a theater near you. I don't think you're going to be able to find it, but when it comes to streaming, you definitely need to watch this movie. So let's watch a little bit of the trailer so you kind of get an idea of what it's about. I'll just tell you up front, it's the story of everything. How life started, how the universe started, what science says about it, the support for evolution or lack of support of evolution compared to um, intelligent design. But so let's take a look real quick.
Today, I'm going to tell you a story which may seem very strange.
Galileo, Kepler, Newton.
Each tried to explain events in the history of the universe.
Has the universe always been here, or is it finite?
Is there something else that would lay these questions to rest?
It reopens that question of ultimate meaning.
How in the world did this start?
The simulation theory?
The multiverse. You can't trust what's in front of your eyes.
Come on, that's ridiculous. That belongs in the movies.
We want to take our metaphysical hypotheses and see what they point to.
And I can remember him saying,
Here is evidence for what can only be described as a supernatural event.
So yeah, I just want to stop right there. And the animation is top notch, which is probably the least compelling part of the movie. The arguments for the Big Bang, or the not arguments for it, but the description of what it is what God talks about when he says, I created everything. Talks about how the universe is in constant expansion. You've heard this probably, the universe is expanding and contracting. It hasn't been witnessed to be contracting at all, but that's a theory. It talks about all that stuff. And what the greatest minds of our time and of eras past, think about this situation. The greatest minds, not cavemen, but actual scientists. So let's continue.
he himself made a discovery that shook his personal philosophy.
The fact the universe sprang into being at a definite moment seems to me theological.
And it is science that has revealed this.
We're dealing with a system of manifold, complex design.
Gravitational force compared with a weak nuclear force.
1 part in 10 to the 10,000. 1 part in 10 to the 20.
Turned out to be the tip of the iceberg.
We associate information with a rational intelligence behind it.
It had an uncanny resemblance to a digital bit string, very much like an information carrier.
You can read the same.
So let's talk about DNA, the DNA strand, and how completely complex it is. Even Bill Gates, they mentioned in the video or in the movie that he said it's thousands of times more complex than anything that we've created. That begs the question. It's an intelligent mind that does it on a computer. What is it that does it in the DNA strand?
Segment forward to get one protein and backwards to get another.
It struck us with a tremendous impact.
Without guidance, we would get a life-unfriendly universe. Many organisms have beauty beyond anything that's relevant for their survival value.
The concept of life as a cosmic phenomenon should have many consequences. The question then was, what does one do about it?
And that's a question. What does one do about it? So let's just go to this little AI overview and see what it says. The story of everything is a science documentary exploring the origins of the cosmos and human life. Um, so Stephen C. Meyer's book "Return of the God Hypothesis" is kind of where this documentary is rooted from. Um, Core arguments, they talk about the Big Bang, argues that the universe has a distinct starting point, contradicting earlier beliefs that the universe was eternal. There's and these are, I won't go into it. I was going to say they're all theories, but what we have been able to, what we, like I've done anything, what the scientists have concluded is that there was a starting point. They call it the singularity, where everything was condensed into one point and something caused it to expand. And of course, my argument is that God did it. And that's what this documentary explores. Some of these are Christian, they're believers, but they're super intelligent guys. So you've been told that science and religion are diametrically opposed to one another, but they are not. One explains the other, and science being the one that explains how God created everything. Cosmic fine tuning is another point that it talks about. Very, very interesting point. Fine tuning is probably one of the greatest arguments against natural selection and evolution. So these are key points that you want to watch for when you watch this documentary. The complexity of DNA, they kind of touched on that in the preview there. Producer. Okay, let's go to this slide here. Let's see what it says. Even Darwin himself had said, if it could be demonstrated that any complex organ existed which could not possibly have been formed by numerous successive slight modifications, my theory would absolutely break down. So now that we have technology on our side and science, it very much appears that the complexity of all, like not all the organs in the body, but many of the organs, could be the brain, the eye, the respiratory system. All these things could not evolve into existing without the organism not being alive, right? So something had to happen to make that change from non-life to life, and it couldn't evolve from a life form into what it is now. In the simplistic form that we've been taught in elementary school. So yeah, let's go to the next one. Stephen C. Meyer is a philosopher of science. He's got a PhD. In basic terms, the dude's wicked smart. Yeah, okay, that's a different topic altogether. All right, well, I'm going to cut it there. But here's the point. Okay, so when you watch this movie, when you watch this documentary, don't get caught up in all the because I hope common people like myself will watch this and go, I don't need to have the deep understanding of chemistry or biology to look at the overview and say what they've been telling us all these years in school, elementary school, even middle school science, is not exactly what they've been telling us. So, I mean, I went to school 40 years ago in elementary school, right? So, I could say a little bit to this. What we know now, scientifically and technology as a backing for the science, we know a lot more today than we did then, and we know a lot more today than when Darwin had his theory. So, don't get caught up by all the numbers. They have numbers flying all over the place. It kind of reminds you of Rain Man. But listen to what they're saying. These are men and women that have looked deep into these things over a lifetime of study. And they refer to others like Newton and Einstein that have looked into this stuff their entire lives. And they've concluded that there is intelligent design. So don't get caught up by all the jargon, but look at the overall statement that they're making. These are highly intelligent people. We're told that science is a replacement for God, but these men and women are saying science is an explanation for God. So, all right, I'm going to cut it there because I got to go to work. And as always, I love you guys. And I hope you see this movie. All right. God bless.